Greetings, folks. Back at Siegel South. It's good to be home. I will say that this past summer up at the place in the north, Siegel North, was the best summer we've had. Not that they're not all good, but we really enjoyed the summer up there this year. The weather was perfect. Might have rained a little more than or might have rained a little more, I wish, because it was pretty dry. And that place up there usually is not dry, but pretty dry. Got back, weather's nice here. Get talking about the weather, just really diving into some deep stuff here. Tiana kind of scared me. Had a little illness. Had to I don't know, haul her off to the emergency room one night. It turned out that she's fit as a fiddle, as always. But there's a moment there that she kind of scared me, and I'm the oldster in this group. I'm the one that's falling apart. Tiana doesn't fall apart. She's the Iron Lady. And all of a sudden she wasn't iron. She was pretty human, and scared me, but only lasted a day. And it was something she ate. I won't say exactly what it was, but she put something in her digestive tract that she really shouldn't have, and she paid for it. But she's fit to fill now. Same old person I love. She runs our stuff. Let me see what's happened since you got back. Of course, I bought that car up there in New York. For those of you that haven't looked at the site, I think I had a picture of it. Second day I had it, I was coming back from a dialysis session over there at Brooks Hospital in Dunkirk. Deer ran out in front of me. Second day, deer ran out in front of me. Bang, bang, boom. $2,500 worth of damage to the car. I don't think I killed the deer. I'm not a killer type. I don't hunt and whatnot. But you mess up my car like that, yeah, you deserve it. I don't know. I don't deserve to die. I hope I bruised her up some. I was really upset. Well, I mean, they're driving along there, minding my own business, and this thing just popped out in front of me. And got the hood, got the fender, got the headlight, got pulled over. And it was dark. Go to the edge of the road, got out and looked, saw what had happened. Headlight pointing down at the ground instead of where it belonged. And that deer was gone. I figured, well, it'd be laying around here someplace because there was fuzz and fur and blood all over. Gone. So evidently, I didn't hurt it mortally. I will tell you, don't ever buy a car outside of your home state. I have had a circus. We've been back now a week or two. And the mixed bureaucracies between New York and Texas is not a good fit. As the state of Texas is pulling me through more knotholes to try to register that car. It's a Kia Spectra 09. It's a nice little car. I'm very pleased with it. Gets good mileage. But I've been down to the courthouse down here in my hometown 3 times. Been on the phone with the guy that I bought it from up in New York, driving him nuts. He's been very cooperative. I can't complain. He has treated me right. I'm hoping, not tomorrow probably. Let's see, tomorrow being Tuesday. I think Thursday I'll finally get this thing culminated and get this little white bomb of mine registered here in the state of Texas. But like I say, when you mix bureaucracies, I mean one bureaucracy is enough by itself, but when you mix two of them together and try to make them fit, it's bad. Uh, what else? Nothing died while we were gone that I can think of. All our trees are, I don't want to say they're flourishing, but they look good. We paid one of the young ladies here in the neighborhood to come over on I think, by a daily basis and water everything, and did a good job. Everything's green and flourishing. My cat's back. Smokey came out. We came on the grounds. That's quite an animal. We've been gone. We were gone for 4 months now. We did have him fed and watered. The young lady that watered the trees also put food down for him and watered him every day. But cats. You go away for 4 months. You figure you'd go off and find somebody else to mess with. Not Smokey. We got out of the car. We unloaded. It took a minute. Walked around the porch over there and looked over to where he usually hangs out, and there he was. He was looking at me. He evidently heard us come up, and he come out to check to see what was going on, and he kind of was half hid in behind the air conditioning condenser out there. And within an hour, he was in the house, meow, 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 and our guy he's his old self. That's pretty good. Any animal that will wait 4 months for the folks to come home, that's what you call, what's the word, not obedient, fiddle, get to see now. Loyal. That's really loyal. And I've had a couple suggestions of maybe how to try to train him to ride alone. I'd like to take him with us. I think he'd enjoy Siegel North. He didn't get eat up by a coyote or something. They got coyotes up there now. Lots of them. Probably more than here. I was a youngster. There were no such animals, vultures and coyotes up there, and they got them both. And the coyote will run off with a small critter. They'll just eat them. So I'm not sure. Of course, I got him here too. His name, he survived, so I guess maybe it'd be all right. Well, I gotta make a comment. Really, what brought me on here tonight is politics. You all know I'm a Democrat. I had a friend. I was at the dialysis clinic today, and my phone rang, and I had a friend speak to me about some of the things that he's seen here on Facebook, and he was, a little, I don't want to say upset. That's really not my providence to decide what he was. But he was concerned enough that, he said, have you seen, have you heard, yada, 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 and yeah, I have, and he and I think alike. I'm concerned. Let's see, I'm 74. And I voted in every election since Eisenhower. The last time Eisenhower ran, 56. And I have never seen such mud, corruption, and the word filth doesn't seem to fit, but damn, these guys are going at each other. Of course, one of the reasons is Obama being black lends itself to narrow-minded whites' dish and filth. He has a lot of problems, but his color isn't one of them. I voted for him last time. If there was anybody else running on the Democratic side, I wouldn't vote for him this time, but Hillary wouldn't run. And nobody ran, so it's him. And I'm pretty well, I hate to use the word stuck with him, but I've stuck with him. You've heard me say it before. These Republicans that are coming in, I find them dangerous. They scare the daylights out of me. The things that they would do to Medicare and Medicaid and the social support programs is nuts. Instead of setting their sights on just gutting all the underpinning of the help that people need, their solution is just hey, here's a pill, drive quietly. Somebody needs to set up a program to where we reestablish the manufacturing base of the United States. The middle class didn't go away, because middle class didn't dissolve. The middle class was taken apart with a purpose, in my mind, by the Republican Party and the right-wing people and the manufacturers, people that owned these companies. They transferred the manufacturing base or the tax base of this country to the Pacific Rim so that they'd make more money. Starting predominantly in Ronnie Reagan's era, they set out to bust the unions and knock the wages back, and they've done a crackerjack job of it. I mean, there's just miles and miles and acres and acres and acres of vacant land where there used to be plants. I go home to Buffalo and I go down through Lackawanna where the big steel plant used to be. It's grass now. There's a few residual buildings left, but most of it's just gone. And that was Bethlehem Steel didn't close themselves out and go anywhere. They went away. They were put out of business by a bunch of greedy beggars that bought their steel from the Japanese because it was cheap. And they didn't care if the good folks of Buffalo and Lackawanna in that area made a living. They bought the cheap Japanese steel and literally put that thing out of business because, of course, if a guy's making $20 an hour, there's no way to sell your steel when somebody's got a bunch of employees that are making 40 cents an hour. That's happened nationwide. Almost all the industries have. I think of flatware. That's knives, forks, and spoons. Used to be the world's biggest producer of them. Well, of course, those underworked and overpaid people that used to make flatware, they're not doing that anymore. Corning. Corningware, if you've ever seen, I sat here one night with a piece of Corningware, and that was made in Corning, New York, by very skilled workers who made a good living and kept Corning real prosperous. Well, that's over on the Pacific Rim someplace. Anyway, the only way that we're going to bring America back is to put tariffs on this stuff that's coming off the Pacific Rim, is force the price of the items that Walmart manufactures over there. I mean, I shop at Walmart just like everybody does because, of course, it's the least expensive, but we corrupt our whole system every time we go in there and buy something cheap. I think this camera. I feel certain, well, I did. I bought it at Walmart, and I'm sure it's made in Philippines or someplace. I paid, I I think $300 for this camera. A little more, a little less. I don't know. If things were correct, this camera would be made in, in Chicago. It'd probably cost, $700-800. But there'd be some folks in Chicago that would be making what they call a living wage. They'd be part of the middle class, and our tax base would be all right, and we wouldn't be involved in this Donnybrook that we're involved in now. I understand here at the first of the year that predominantly because of our tax base being so lousy, that there's they call it a cliff. We're going to go over a cliff financially. Somebody down there in Washington, his name slips my mind right now, got all the Republicans, Tea Party guys to sign a pledge that they wouldn't go for any tax increases for any reason, and because of that, there was a economic strangulation that came in during the past year. In order to get to pass that, they signed a agreement that if we hadn't started reducing our expenditures by, I believe it's this January, then there would be some automatic reductions that would come in, and some of them are bad, draconian. It's nuts. And all this is a result of the fact that our working middle class in this country has just been destroyed. Now, I know that there's a lot of people out there that have gotten real used to sitting on the duff and collecting unemployment. I've often said I'd start a new government bureaucracy. And this is real conservative, I think. This isn't in keeping with my usual left-wing pinko socialistic attitude, but I would go into these ghettos, poor sections of these big cities where all these people sitting around just collecting a check. Put a stool here, have a doctor here. You line up all the people in that area that were unemployed, march them up, doctor would check them out. Doctor said he's fit to work. Got their name on the list. Say you better find a job because your welfare check you got last month was the last one you're going to get. And that's hard-hearted because I think they said that we're 80 million jobs short. So how do we get 80 million jobs? I don't have an answer for it. But I think that we need to go back to like when Roosevelt had the old CCC and WPA and put these folks to sweeping streets and doing protective stuff and paying them, I don't think as a nation we could pay them a living wage, but we could pay them enough so that they wouldn't be on the dole. And I think that would at least be some solution. But we need to bring back our manufacturing base. Need to start a trade war. Need to tell Chinese go blow. They sell their products to their people. They've got $1.3 billion, I think, yeah. That ought to be a big enough market for them. Sell stuff to their country. Leave us alone. I would break up Walmart. I would. They broke up They broke up Bell Telephone, Standard Oil. There are antitrust laws about here, monopolies, and if Walmart isn't a monopoly, I've never seen one. And they don't do a thing about it. And Walmart's one of the biggest contributors to the demise of the American industrial base, because of course they have all their stuff made over in China. if Walmart just had the products they sell in their store made here in the United States. You talk about junk pumping up our economy. Well, anyway, I'm just rambling. We're glad to be back at Siegel South. Of course, like I said, we enjoyed our time up north. I try to teach my cat to go along. And Ike, I don't like Satan. I don't know where that was, but I had a comment today that Ike put an entry on Facebook that if you're a Democrat, or Satan had discovered himself a political party. It was the Democrats. That's a bit extreme, guy. Anywho, try to do this again here in a few days. Get back in the routine. Glad to be back. All's well. Have a good evening. By the way, what time is it? It's about, I think it's about 2 in the morning. 2:27. Yeah, 28. I got a little timer right there on my thing. Never knew that before. So it's 2:35 a.m. No, that ain't right. That isn't right. That's incorrect. I don't know what time it is. It's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. That my mom. I must have put 21 minutes on here. Long time. I don't even know if this will record. Talk to you later, folks. Glad to be back.